No, 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 no. No, no, please, no. Ah, damn it. Metroid Dread is most certainly one of the games on the Nintendo Switch. It is currently the latest game in the third generation of 2D Metroid games, and yes, the whole generation thing is something I came up with, but let's not focus on that right now. Instead, let's focus on this situation. Yes, this is me. And this thing, well, it's something that sends you to the game over screen. But why are we even here? How did this happen? Well, for starters, I should probably explain some stuff. This game takes place on this planet called ZDR. Our main character Samus has gone there because this floating piece of jelly called an X has appeared on the planet and she wants to get rid of it. Her ship's sentient computer Adam also tells us about these robots called Emmy. Hey, wait a second, isn't that the guy that just killed me? Apparently, they were sent to the planet for the purpose of investigation, but contact with them broke off and, well, now they're lost. Once Samus reaches the planet, she gets attacked by this strange figure and, in typical video game fashion, loses all of her abilities. There is something I want to say before we continue. For some reason, the game has no setting that allows you to turn down the music. I went online to look for a mod which added this feature, which would have required me to play on an emulator, but I couldn't find a mod like that. So just know that sometimes the music will be a little bit strange. I'm gonna try to make it work, but I can't guarantee anything. Anyway, after waking up from our little power nap, we start the game by navigating through the first few rooms. Now, even though the video quality doesn't really show it, this game looks absolutely gorgeous for something on the Switch. And you know what's the best part? This game does something that barely any Switch game does, which is to run at 60 FPS. Heading through the tutorial section, we're taught the main gimmick of 3rd Gen 2D Metroids, 360 aiming. This is where the generations come into play. I assign games to generations based on how aiming works. The first two games, which make up Generation 1, only allow you to shoot in 4 directions. The second generation allows you to shoot in 8 directions, and then finally the 3rd gen gives you the ability to aim at 360 degrees at the cost of having to stand still and press a button in order to initiate it. Anyway, we make our way to the first navigation room. These rooms allow you to talk to Adam, where he will then inform you about the current story events, maybe even tell you where to go. They also double as save rooms once you did the conversation. Moving on, we reach this place where we are forced to unlock this passage and then use it because, well, by unlocking it we just cut off our only way back, so yeah. Okay, that was a close one. At least you can't climb walls. This thing is one of the Emmy units that went missing. The move I just used to escape its grasp was the melee counter, a new addition to Samus' arsenal which made its debut in the 3rd generation's first game. If an enemy is about to attack, it will be indicated by a yellow flash. If you then use the counter at the right time, you'll briefly stun the enemy and you even get some resources back for doing it. Anyway, we head into this room and find a strange blue brain on the ground. Touching it gives us a special weapon, the Omega Cannon. This thing allows you to charge a very powerful shot, which we immediately use to open this door with a red circle in the middle. You know what also has a red circle? This guy's face. After introducing the Emmy's face to the concept of a hole, we sadly lose the Omega Cannon and continue until we reach this strange door. I really don't like this place. Now we're being chased by an actually working Emmy. This one can climb and is pretty fast, but it can't move through narrow spaces. We eventually manage to escape it and... Is that an invisible creature? Yep, it is. In this room, we find doors that we can't go through because they close up upon noticing us. So we go up, reach a navigation room, and enter the Emmy zone again. The Emmy essentially works in a sort of patrol mode. Once you make a sound within their detection radius, they will enter yellow mode and investigate the place that the sound came from. If you see this red dot on the minimap or hear their beeping sounds, then they are in the same room as you, so be quiet. Don't make a sound. Because if you do, you know what's going to happen. And you're not going to like it. Continuing through the area, we reach a map room, also doubling as a safe room, get the charge beam and reach this room again. Oh hey, it's you again. Moving this part of the area, we reach this strange device that opens up a few doors that are required in order to progress. We then head back into the Emmy zone, only to fight an armored version of that blue brain from earlier. After it's down, we get the Omega Cannon again, and this time it has a rapid fire mode which allows you to melt this armor on the door, which conveniently resembles the Emmy's faceplate. After we take the Emmy down, we get the spider magnet, allowing us to climb on these blue surfaces. We then get to this door, which is protected by a monster for some reason. Probably nothing to be concerned about. And we have ourselves our first proper boss fight, Corpius. In order to damage him, we'll have to use missiles and hit his head. Once we've done this for a while, he will activate his cloaking ability, leaving only this yellow spot behind, which is a weak spot, so you can shoot it. What you're seeing me do right now is a tactic that I call "How is this button not broken yet?" This is what it looks like in real life. After some more missiles to the face, Corpius goes down and we get the Phantom Cloak, rendering us invisible once we activate it. Since we're now done in the first area, we head on over to the next area, Kataris, using this elevator. Once we reach Kataris, we instinctively shoot this wall, talk to Adam and enter the local Emmy zone. The green Emmy marks a sizable step up in difficulty as it doesn't have the white Emmy's inability to move through tight spaces. All subsequent Emmy will also have this ability, so good luck. Luckily, the Phantom Cloak's ability makes him unable to see us. Unfortunately, however, it does not save you from being an idiot. Okay, I did not expect that. Do you have any idea how lucky I just got? When an enemy catches you, you get 2 chances to escape. The parry window for each of these chances is pretty small, making it almost unreactable. What's worse is that both parry windows are randomized, meaning that getting consistent at parrying these guys is pretty much impossible. So when you actually manage to parry an enemy like I did here, it's more luck than skill. Anyway, we head out of the Slenderman zone, change the heat flow, head back in, do some more stuff and then activate this contraption. Right now we can't progress in Kataris because we need the white beam. In order to get it, we must head to a new area called Dairon. Once there, we have to restore power to this facility, we grab the white beam, and then we meet one of the most annoying Emmy in the entire game. The yellow Emmy is extremely fast, making it quite the hazard. Guy probably thinks he's Usain Bolt or someone like that. We then return to Kataris, fight the local Smurf brain, get the Omega Cannon and remove the green Emmy from existence. Doing so grants us the Morph Ball, which allows us to move through tight spaces that aren't accessible by sliding. We then use this teleporter to return to Altaria, barely escape this section of the map, turning into an oven, and get the Varia suit. Now we can enter hot rooms without taking damage. After that, we head back to Kataris and fight the next boss, Kraid. Fighting Kraid is pretty easy, all things considered, especially since the white beam allows my button mashing induced rapid fire to deal triple damage. After the fight, we get the diffusion beam and head back to Dairon. You're supposed to get this part of an energy tank much later in the game, but if you slide and press jump just in time, you can actually get it right now. This trick is pretty difficult and most of the time you will probably just die in the lava, so only do this when you actually are crazy enough to do it or when you know that you can do it. Heading through the permanent noise filter zone again, we find... what is that? Did that thing just move? Moving on, we activate his generator, get the bombs, narrowly avoid the Emmy and head over to Berenia. This is one of the 3 areas in the game that doesn't contain an Emmy zone. Unfortunately, it is the water area, so yeah, have fun with the very bad water mobility. Heading through Berenia, we acquired a Flash Shift, a nifty little ability that allows you to dash up to 2 times in quick succession. Afterwards, we head back into Dairon's Emmy zone, manage to parry the piss robot at the last second, kill the brain and send the yellow Emmy straight to Brazil. Killing it gives us the speed booster, which pretty much just speaks for itself. Up next we head back to Altaria, get the grapple beam, head back to Dairon and obtain a mysterious item that we can't use right now. The next stop on our tour through CDR is Ferenia, where we come face to face with the purple Emmy, only for this guy to then shut it down. He brings us somewhere else and tells us about the guy who took our powers in the beginning, and then he gets killed. The robot Chozo soldiers are some of the most annoying enemies in the entire game. I am very bad at fighting them. However, I do manage to take it down. After all of that, we head back to Verenia, go this way and fight Rogaiga, the area boss. Once again, the button mashing turns this fight into an absolute joke. Next up is Gaveron, a nature-based area. This one features a golden Chozo robot and the blue Emmy.
He's just standing there, menacingly!
We eventually reach this train station, which brings us to Elon, an area inhabited by Tesla bots. Oh, wait, sorry, it's called Elon. In this place, we finally confront the thing that we were searching for all this time, the X-Parasite. Upon killing an X, it will float around ready to be absorbed. Yellow X refill your health, green ones refill your ammunition, I just realized that I forgot to mention the super missiles that we got earlier, and red X refill everything. Now we fight against my favorite type of mini-boss, the Chozo Warrior. Or at least an X mimicking one, but it's still a good fight. This fight is once again easily won by mashing. And I forgot to mention that we got the plasma beam. What is it with me and forgetting about power-ups right now? Anyway, we leave Elon only to realize that we left the door open and now the X are rapidly killing and replacing the old enemies on the planet. Some of the X replicas are actually stronger than the original enemies, so pay attention to that. Oh shit. That's not good. Back in Gaveron, we survive a few encounters with the blue Emmy, get the spin boost, kill another Chozo warrior and deal with the blue Emmy. This one gives us the ice missiles capable of freezing enemies if we hit them enough times. While exploring the area, we also get the scan pulse, which allows you to see hidden blocks. We then head back to Verenia and try to move past the reactivated purple Emmy. This one has straight up wall hacks. Combine that with the fact that this room, which you'll be seeing a lot, is filled with water and you have yourself a recipe for disaster. Continuing through Verenia, we fight this bug called SQ, get the storm missile, and then proceed to get our ass handed to us by two robot Chozos. After we finally beat them, we get the space jump. With it, we head back to Verenia and obtain the gravity suit, allowing us to move in water without impaired movement. It also protects you from lava as well as cold rooms. Speaking of which, heading back to Altaria, we discover that someone forgot to close the freezer. Well, actually, the thermal power plant located in Kataris has ceased to function for some reason, meaning that we now need to reactivate it. Whilst in Altaria, we come across a red Chozo warrior, which uses a shield. Once we reach Kataris, we immediately head to the power plant in order to find out why it stopped working. This is experiment Z57. If you recall, it's that one monster from Dairon. The first phase goes pretty well, but once the second phase starts, things start to get a little bit interesting. The experiment will start to activate these fans, pushing you against the wall and forcing you to play Flappy Bird. However, it goes down pretty fast afterwards. And if you're skilled enough, you can actually use the speed booster here and hit the boss with a shine spot, killing it instantly. Heading back to defrosted Altaria, we get the screw attack, go to Verenia to kill the last two robot Chozos, head to Gaveron and kill this guy to get the cross bomb. After that, we make a quick stop in Hanubia, head back to Verenia and finally kill the purple Emmy. This gives us the wave beam, which allows your shots to travel through solid objects. Now we're almost done. Heading back to Hanubia, we move into the last Emmy zone, suddenly get energy absorption powers and kill the Emmy that way. Then a red Chozo warrior shows up and, as per usual, gets turned into mincemeat. We then obtain our last power-up, the power bomb. This one is essentially a screen-clearing nuke. Using it, we make our way towards our penultimate opponent, a golden Chozo warrior. However, the color is just for show. And now, we only have one last obstacle in front of us. The big bad of this game, Ravenbeak. The fight starts off like any other boss fight. However, after he's taken enough damage, Ravenbeak will use an attack that can only be dodged by crouching. What the hell are you doing, Samus? I said crouch! Okay, let's start over. So, you dodge, you parry, and then you unload. Now Ravenbeak is invincible. We can only deal damage to him when he does that one attack again. Doing so one more time starts the second phase where he starts to fly. However, with button mashing and storm missile spam, we eventually get past this phase. Well, you only got one wing now. Try flying with that wall. Whoa. Okay, I guess you don't need that. Phase 3 is the best, but also the hardest phase of the fight. Ravenbeak isn't pulling punches anymore. He has a very annoying orb attack that can be negated with a power bomb, an extremely strong energy beam, and even an instant use Shrine Spark. He still does that one counter move though, so you know what that means. Well, we're done. The final boss is dead. God damn it. Wouldn't be a Metroid game without a proper escape sequence.
So, you drain the ship of its energy.
And we're done. For real this time. Replaying this game after not touching it for like 2 years was a pretty refreshing experience, if I say so myself, especially after the whole Dark Souls playthrough I did. Now, while playing the game on hard mode might not have been the best idea, it was still a lot better than playing on Dread mode where literally everything can one-shot you. But that's pretty much it for today. So, have a good day. Bye.